Most people believe self-discipline is about brute willpower, but they're completely wrong. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful emperor of Rome, discovered that true discipline comes from fully accepting your weaknesses, not fighting against them. 2,000 years ago, while commanding the greatest empire in the world and facing devastating wars, he developed 10 techniques that transformed his mind into an unshakable fortress. Techniques that can completely reprogram your brain in just 21 days. What you're about to discover isn't just ancient philosophy, it's pure neuroscience, disguised as Stoic wisdom that will armor your mind against any modern temptation or distraction. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like and comment what part of the world you're watching from, because now I'm going to tell you everything. Have you ever wondered if self-discipline really has to be harsh or difficult? Many people worry about this. They believe that being disciplined means you must always push yourself, never rest, and always work hard, even if you are tired or hurt. This idea makes people feel afraid of discipline. They imagine it as something heavy, something painful, something that only the strongest or the strictest people can do. But this idea is not true. Self-discipline can be simple. It can also be gentle. Let us look at what real self-discipline actually means. Discipline is not about always fighting with yourself. It is not about ignoring your feelings or forcing yourself to keep going when you are too tired. It is not about never making mistakes. Real discipline starts in a different place. It begins from knowing who you really are. You need to pay attention to your thoughts. You need to notice what you do each day and why you do it. You might ask, how can I know myself? This seems like a hard task, but it is really about small steps. You stop for a moment and listen to your feelings. You look at your actions. Maybe you ask yourself, why did I do that today? What was I feeling? When you do this, you learn more about your good points. You also see your weak points. Everyone has some things they are good at. Everyone has some things they find hard. There is nobody who is perfect in everything. Self-discipline gets easier when you accept these things about yourself. If you make a mistake, you do not pretend it did not happen. You do not feel ashamed or angry. You just look at the mistake and say, this is a part of me. I am not perfect, and that is fine. This is what real strength looks like. When you are kind to yourself in this way, you save your energy for better things. You do not use energy trying to hide who you are. You use it to make better choices and to grow. Try to think of self-discipline as something that grows quietly inside you. It is not a battle. It is not a punishment. You are not fighting yourself or telling yourself you are not good enough. Instead, you are learning to see yourself more clearly. You are learning to take care of yourself, step by step. Many people believe that if they are not strict with themselves, they will not get anywhere. They worry that if they accept their mistakes, they will become lazy or give up. But this is not what happens. If you treat yourself with gentle honesty, you do not lose your strength or your goals. You become calmer. You make better plans for your life. You stop wasting time and energy pretending. You use your energy for the things you really want to do. When you look at discipline in this way, it becomes something positive. It feels like a tool you can use, not a heavy bag you must carry. This tool helps you notice what helps you and what does not. You choose the things that move you closer to your goals. You let go of things that only make you feel bad or waste your time. Let us talk about how this works in daily life. Every day, you make small choices. When you get up in the morning, you can decide if you want to start your day feeling rushed, or if you want to breathe and set your mind for what you will do. When you feel tired before a task, you can decide to give yourself some time to rest, because you know rest will help you do the task better later. If you make a mistake, you can decide to be gentle with yourself, not angry. These are small things, but they are part of discipline. Self-discipline is not only about working very hard or never making mistakes. It is about being awake to your own life. You notice what you are doing and why. You make choices that help you grow stronger, little by little. It is important to understand that you will always have some weak points. Everyone does. This is part of being human. Having weak points does not mean you failed. It only means you are alive and trying. When you accept your weak points, you do not give up. In fact, you make it easier to grow. You spend less time fighting yourself and more time moving forward. A key part of real discipline is honesty. This honesty starts with yourself. Can you look inside and see your strong points and your weak points without fear? Can you see your mistakes as information, not as shame? When you are honest, you start to feel more calm inside. You stop worrying so much about what others think. You stop judging yourself so harshly. You also stop thinking of discipline as something you only do when things are hard. Discipline becomes something you use every day, even when life is normal. You learn to make better choices with your time and your energy. You learn that it is okay to rest. You learn that it is normal to make mistakes. You learn that discipline is sometimes about saying no to things that do not help you. Let us look at a few simple ways to practice this new kind of discipline. One way is to notice your habits. You may have some habits that help you and some habits that do not. When you wake up, do you reach for your phone and lose time, or do you start your day in a calm way? When you feel angry, do you shout, or do you take a moment to cool down? Small habits, over time, shape your life. Another way to practice discipline is to plan your day with care. This does not mean you need a perfect schedule. It means you take a little time to think about what matters most today. You can write your main goal for the day on a piece of paper. Each time you start to get distracted or tired, look at that paper and remind yourself of what you want to do. Self-discipline also helps you save energy. When you are honest with yourself, you know which things are the most important. You stop trying to do too many things at once. You let some things go so that you can do your best work on the things that matter. For example, maybe you want to learn a new skill or finish a project at your job or school. You might notice you waste time every day checking your phone or talking with people about things that do not matter. If you are honest with yourself, you can see these things. Do not be angry about them. Just notice them. Then you can choose to do one less unhelpful thing tomorrow. If you try to change everything at once, you will feel tired. Self-discipline is not about big changes. It is about small steps. If you want to wake up earlier, try waking up just 10 minutes before your normal time. If you want to drink more water, put a glass where you can see it. These small actions help you feel in control. Sometimes you will make progress. Sometimes you will fall back into an old habit. This is normal. What matters is that you notice what happened and you start again. Do not focus on being perfect. Focus on staying gentle and honest with yourself. This builds real confidence. Real self-discipline also means that you care about your well-being. Some days you will be tired. Some days you will not have the energy to do everything you want. When this happens, listen to your body and your mind. Give yourself time to rest. Rest is not weakness. Rest helps you come back stronger. You may worry that if you stop to rest, or if you are gentle with yourself after a mistake, you will never succeed. But the truth is the opposite. People who are kind and honest with themselves stay strong for longer. They do not burn out. They find it much easier to stay disciplined every day instead of only once in a while. Pay attention to the voices in your head. When you notice self-judgment or negative thoughts, do not fight them. Just let them be and focus again on what is important. Over time, these negative voices get quieter. Your mind learns to be more gentle, more calm, and more focused. Let us talk about how to accept your mistakes and limits. If you make a mistake, see it as a chance to learn, not as a failure. Ask yourself, what does this mistake tell me? What can I do differently next time? This way, every mistake is a small step towards growing better. Self-discipline is built by these small, honest steps every day. There is no magic secret. There is no special rule. You can start today, right now, by simply paying closer attention to how you talk to yourself and how you choose your actions. Start small. If you forget something or feel upset, just notice it. Remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has strong and weak points. You do not need to change everything at once. You only need to be honest and gentle every day. Over time, this builds a deep, quiet strength inside you. You may find moments when you feel like giving up. When this happens, remember that discipline does not mean never stopping. It means coming back again and again to what you truly want. If you keep coming back, you find that discipline grows naturally. It does not need to be forced. In summary, real self-discipline does not mean you must always be tough. It does not mean you must ignore yourself or push yourself into pain. It means you must listen to yourself, notice your good and weak points, and make gentle, honest choices. When you do this, you build a base of discipline that is strong, but also kind. This simple, gentle path to discipline is open to everyone. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to start and keep going, one small step at a time. When you bring this gentle self-discipline into your life, you find that you have more energy for the things you care about. You spend less time pretending or hiding. You feel calmer inside and outside. You make better choices bit by bit. This is the real meaning of self-discipline. Self-discipline often starts with understanding yourself and making gentle choices every day. But some people need a helping hand, a guide who has also walked this path. Many, many years ago, there lived a man named Marcus Aurelius. He became very important for many reasons. He was not just a leader and ruler of Rome. He was also a person who thought about life very deeply. He asked himself many questions and looked for answers that everyone could use. Marcus Aurelius wanted to know what makes people strong inside and how they can deal with problems in a calm way. Marcus Aurelius was born a long time ago, long before there were computers or modern cities. He lived in Rome, which was a city full of people, power, and problems. He became the emperor, which means he was the main leader of all the people in Rome. This was a hard job. Many people looked to him for answers and help. He had to make big choices that affected the lives of thousands of people. He saw wars, sickness, and troubles. Many days were very difficult. But Marcus Aurelius did not let anger or sadness rule his mind. He wanted to understand how a person can stay steady and kind, even in the middle of big problems. Marcus Aurelius believed that every person can get better at being strong, calm, and focused, no matter what is happening around them. He did not think that only special people can do this. He wrote down his ideas in simple words. These writings have lasted for thousands of years. They were not written in a proud or difficult way. He spoke to everyone, not just other leaders. When Marcus Aurelius was the emperor, he did not have an easy life. People in Rome had many struggles and sometimes even turned against him. He felt sadness and tiredness like everyone else. But when he faced something hard, he would stop. He would look inside himself and try to understand what he was feeling. He did not run away from his fears or pretend everything was fine. He paid attention to his thoughts and his emotions. He accepted that he was a person who could feel pain, make mistakes, and still keep moving forward. One thing that makes Marcus Aurelius special is how he looked at his own weaknesses. He did not try to hide them or lie about them. He wrote about these things in his simple notebook every day. These notes became a book that people now call Meditations. In this book, he gives advice that is easy to understand. He does not shout at you. He does not say you need to be perfect. He only asks you to look at yourself kindly and to try each day to make wise choices. Marcus Aurelius learned that people's minds are busy, full of thoughts and feelings. both good and bad. He noticed that sometimes his mind wanted to jump from one thought to another without control. Sometimes his mind was filled with fear, confusion, or anger. These things did not surprise him or make him feel weak. Marcus Aurelius decided to guide his mind instead of fighting it or feeling afraid. He used simple techniques to help himself stay calm. First, he learned to watch his own thoughts. He would ask, "What am I thinking right now?" and then answer honestly. He wrote that it is normal to have many different thoughts. Some thoughts make you happy, some thoughts make you feel worried, some thoughts are helpful, and some are not. Marcus Aurelius said that you do not need to accept every thought that comes. You can decide which thoughts are good for you and which you can let go. Marcus Aurelius also said that your feelings are important, but they do not control what you do. If you feel angry, it is okay to notice it. If you feel sad or afraid, it is normal. But you can choose what you do next. This is where self-discipline grows strong. Marcus Aurelius showed that the best way to be strong inside is to be calm with yourself and choose your next action with care. His advice is simple and clear. He says, "Look at your mind. Notice what is happening inside you. If you find something that does not help you, you can change it. If you make a mistake, you can learn from it and start again." This idea is gentle, not harsh. You do not need to punish yourself for feeling something or thinking something. Just see it and make a new choice. Many people have found comfort in the words of Marcus Aurelius. They have seen that his advice works for everyone. You do not need special skills. You do not need to be a king or a leader. You just need to be willing to notice your own mind and try new ways, one small step at a time. The advice of Marcus Aurelius is also important because he understands that life will always bring problems. Even if you are strong or rich, you will still have days of fear and pain. Marcus Aurelius teaches that problems do not have to break you. You can stay calm inside, even when the outside world is noisy. These teachings are called Stoic because they come from a way of thinking known as Stoicism. Stoicism is about staying steady and using your mind to choose what is best instead of letting your feelings take over. Marcus Aurelius became famous for his Stoic ways. But his Stoicism was not cold. It was not about locking away your feelings. It was about seeing your feelings clearly, then choosing how you act. Marcus Aurelius wrote that every person wants to be happy. But real happiness does not come from always getting what you want. Real happiness comes when you learn to be okay, no matter what is happening around you. It comes from choosing good actions each day, gently and quietly. He taught that you should not worry about things you cannot change. If you face something very hard, try to accept it as part of life. If you make a mistake, use it to get better. If you feel unsure, remind yourself that you are doing your best as a human being. People who follow his advice find more peace, even when life is not easy. Marcus Aurelius also believed that everyone is connected. He saw that what you do matters to people around you. If you are kind to yourself, you can be kinder to others. If you act with honesty and care, the people in your life feel more safe and calm. Self-discipline, for Marcus Aurelius, was not about being perfect or better than other people. It was about being the best self you can be, every day, for yourself and for others. Many stories are told about how Marcus Aurelius lived his life. When people came to him with problems, he listened with patience. When he felt tired, he did not hide it. When he made hard decisions, he tried to think about what was most fair and kind. In his writings, you see that he had doubts and fears like anyone else, but he did not run from these things. He welcomed them as part of being a real person. What makes his advice different from others is how simple it is. Some people talk about life in big, confusing words. Marcus Aurelius used plain language. He talked about small steps, like stopping for a moment before you act, and looking at your thoughts as if they were clouds passing in the sky. These steps are easy enough for anyone. You do not need special tools or knowledge to use them. The advice of Marcus Aurelius does not get old. Even today, people read his words and find help. Many people say that when they started to use his ideas, they became more calm at work, with friends, and even when they were alone. They stopped feeling so angry at mistakes. They were able to keep going, even on hard days. Marcus Aurelius gives people the tools to build a peaceful mind, step by step. His teachings are useful today because everyone's mind is busy. Phones beep, people talk, problems appear every day. It is hard to feel calm and in control. Marcus Aurelius knew this feeling long ago, even before there were any modern things. He struggled with worries just like we do now. His answer was always to look inside, notice what you feel, and choose your next step with care and honesty. You might wonder how to start with his teachings. You can begin by making some time each day to pay attention to your mind. You do not have to sit for hours. Even a few minutes is enough. Ask yourself, how do I feel right now? What am I thinking? When you notice a thought or feeling, do not judge it as good or bad. Just see it. This is what Marcus Aurelius did. Over time, your mind learns to be more gentle and you feel stronger inside. Marcus Aurelius gives hope to people who feel lost or stuck. He does not say that you must change your whole life all at once. He says it is enough to try again and again every day. If you fall back into old habits, do not feel bad. You are still learning and growing. You can start over as many times as you need. One important part of his advice is to remember that you do not control everything in your life. Some things will not go as you wish, even if you try very hard. When this happens, Marcus Aurelius says, accept it. This is not weakness. This is being wise. You still have power over your own actions and your own mind. This is where your strength lives. When you follow his advice, you begin to see that calmness can grow even when everything around you changes. You get better at taking care of yourself. You also become more patient and gentle with other people. If they make mistakes or get angry, you do not have to feel upset. You know everyone is trying, just like you. If you wish to use the advice of Marcus Aurelius, remember his key ideas. Notice your thoughts. Accept your mistakes. Be gentle with yourself. Choose small, good actions every day. Let go of what you cannot change. Help others when you can. These actions build a strong inside, one quiet day at a time. It is common to think that people who lived long ago do not understand our lives today. But Marcus Aurelius faced the same feelings you feel now. He was sometimes worried, sometimes tired, sometimes unhappy. He wanted peace, and he found ways to get closer to it. He wrote his ideas in simple words so that anyone could use them. Time has passed, but his advice stays the same, because every person needs self-discipline and gentle guidance. The world always has trouble and stress. You cannot make these things go away, but you can use the advice of Marcus Aurelius to be strong in your heart. You can decide what is important to you and let the rest go. When your mind is busy, remember to come back to the small steps he teaches. This is a path that anyone can follow. If you keep practicing these simple ways, you will see changes. You will start to notice when your mind tries to pull you away from what matters. You will become better at letting go of anger and worry. You will feel more present in your life and more able to make gentle choices every day. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius is not about being perfect. It is about trying honestly. This honest effort is what creates real self-discipline and calm. By understanding who Marcus Aurelius was, and by trying his simple, kind advice, you are building a new way to live. You are making your mind a calmer and stronger place. This is a skill you can practice, a little bit every single day. When you begin, you may feel unsure. But as you keep going, you will find that calmness grows, and you have more strength for all of life's challenges. When you begin to follow the simple steps from Marcus Aurelius, you may notice that your mind is not always quiet. Your thoughts seem to move quickly, and sometimes you feel many different emotions at once. This is something normal for everyone. The human mind works in ways that can sometimes surprise us. It is always moving, always noticing new things, always thinking about the next moment or remembering something from before. Sometimes it is hard to make the mind stop and focus on just one thing. When you wake up in the morning, your mind may fill with plans for the day. You think about what you need to do, who you will see, and what you hope to finish. In the middle of doing one thing, another thought can jump into your head. You might remember something you forgot. You might start to worry about something that has not happened yet. This is very common. The mind likes to keep moving from one thing to another, and sometimes it does this without you wanting it to. During the day, there are many things that can pull your mind away from what you want to do. If you are at school or at work, you might hear noises around you. You might see a message on your phone. You might hear someone talking or laughing. Each of these things can catch your mind and take your attention away from your main task. Even inside your own head, one emotion or thought can suddenly take over. If something small upsets you, you may think about it for a long time. If something happy happens, your mind may keep returning to that feeling and not focus on your work. This way of thinking and feeling is normal for all humans. Our brains are made to notice changes, to look for new things, and to react quickly. A long time ago, this helped people stay safe and alive. But today, with so much happening around us almost all the time, our minds can become tired or confused. It can become hard to pay attention to just one thing. You might feel that you are not in control of your own thoughts or actions. It is important to know that there is nothing wrong with you if you find it hard to focus. This happens to everyone. Your mind will always want to move, to look somewhere else, or to chase a new feeling. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He wrote that the mind is pulled in many directions because that is its nature. Instead of feeling upset about this, he suggested that we simply notice it when it happens. When your mind starts to run from one thing to another, you can gently bring it back to what you are doing. This is not easy at first. You may try to pay attention, and then forget, and let your mind wander again. This is still okay. Each time you bring your mind back, even if it only lasts for a little while, you are practicing a new way to live. You are learning how to guide your mind instead of letting it guide you. Feelings also play a big part in how your mind works. When you feel angry, sad, or worried, your thoughts become stronger and can take over. When you are happy or excited, your thoughts can also move faster, making it hard to stay calm. Many people try to fight their feelings or push them away, but this only uses more energy and makes things harder. Marcus Aurelius said that you should not try to block your emotions. You should notice them, see what they are, and then decide what to do next. One way you can start to guide your mind is by being aware of distractions. A distraction is anything that makes you stop focusing on what you wanted to do. Distractions can come from outside, like loud sounds or people talking. They can also come from inside, like memories or worries. Every time you notice a distraction, you can remind yourself of what you want to do. Gently bring your attention back. This simple practice builds strength in your mind, little by little. Your mind will try to find new things to pay attention to all day. This is not always a bad thing. Sometimes you need to solve problems or take care of many things at once. But if you always let your mind jump from thing to thing, you may start to feel tired and never finish anything important. You may feel busy, but not satisfied. The way to feel better is to be kind with yourself each time you get distracted. Notice the distraction. Bring your focus back and start again. It does not matter how many times this happens in a day. What matters is that you keep practicing. Over time, you will see that you can pay attention for longer. You will also notice when your emotions are starting to take over, and you can pause and decide what you want to do about them. If you want to become better at guiding your mind, you can use a few simple steps each day. When you start to feel your thoughts running away from you, stop for a moment. Take a few slow breaths. Ask yourself, what am I trying to do right now? This question helps your mind to settle and remember your main goal. You can also set small breaks for your mind during the day. After you have worked for a little while, give yourself a short time to rest. Stand up, stretch, or look at something calm. Then come back and focus again. This teaches your mind to work in short, strong periods instead of trying to hold attention for many long hours. Another way to support your mind is to keep your work and living spaces simple. If there is too much noise or too many things to look at, your mind will jump to each one. Try to clear away things that do not help you focus. Give yourself a place to sit that feels quiet, even if it is only for a few minutes. It is also good to notice what times of day you feel most focused. Some people are strong in the morning, others in the afternoon or evening. Try to put your most important work or time for thinking in the hours when your mind is most awake. This can make a big difference in how much you can do. Often, people think their thoughts are always true and must be believed. But Marcus Aurelius taught that many thoughts are just habits of the mind. Some thoughts are helpful, while others are not. When a thought comes, ask yourself, is this helping me right now? If it is not, you can let it go and return to what matters most in this moment. When you see your mind bringing up worries from the past or fears about the future, be gentle. You do not have to follow every worry. You do not have to fix everything right now. You can write down your thought if you want, and choose to focus on something you can actually do. Feelings are sometimes even stronger than thoughts. If you feel upset, do not try to ignore this feeling. Take a few deep breaths and name what you feel. You might say quietly, I feel sad, or I feel mad. This helps your mind slow down because now you understand what is happening. Once you know your feeling, you can choose what to do next. Many people wonder if their minds are too busy to ever feel calm. This is not true. Every single person has a mind that can learn to focus with simple practice. You do not need special skills for this. You only need to be willing to notice when your mind runs away and to keep bringing it back with patience. Marcus Aurelius teaches that nobody controls all their thoughts or feelings perfectly. You will still feel distracted or upset some days, even after you have practiced for weeks or months. This is not a failure. It is only the nature of being human. Every person has an active mind, but every person can also learn how to guide it gently. Sometimes it helps to talk to a friend about your feelings or distractions. Sharing your thoughts out loud can make them feel less heavy. You may find that other people feel the same. You are not alone in this. Even people you think are very focused or very strong also lose their way sometimes. The important thing is to come back to yourself again and again. When you notice that you are distracted, do not blame yourself or feel bad. This only makes it harder to try again. Instead, remind yourself that your mind is working as it should. Each time you bring it back, even for a few seconds, you are practicing self-discipline in a gentle way. Your mind is always learning. If you keep noticing your thoughts and bringing yourself back, the habit becomes stronger. In time, you will find that you feel less pulled by each new sound or feeling. You will be able to pause and decide what you want to do instead of reacting with your first impulse. Pay attention to your body as well as your mind. If you are tired, hungry, or uncomfortable, it is hard to focus. Make sure you give your body what it needs. Drink water, eat good food, and rest when you can. This helps your mind feel more steady. It can also help to use short notes, lists, or reminders. If your mind likes to bring up many things at once, write them down. Then let yourself focus on just one, knowing that the others are safe on your list and will not be forgotten. You may find that some days it is easy to pay attention and other days feel impossible. This is normal. Life will always bring some days that are harder than others. What matters is not being perfect, but simply being gentle and coming back to what matters for you. If you have done well for a few hours and then become completely distracted, do not think you must start over from the beginning. Each moment is a new chance to return your focus. Self-discipline is something you build up over and over, not something you win or lose in an instant. Marcus Aurelius believed that guiding your mind is the most important skill for a good life. If you let your mind control your actions all the time, you may not reach your goals. If you guide your mind even a little, each day becomes more peaceful and more clear. Sometimes you will forget and let your emotions or distractions take over. This is an important time to practice kindness with yourself. Just notice what happened and try again. No one can do this perfectly, but each try makes you more skilled. Over longer time, if you gently practice bringing your mind back, you will see other changes too. You will feel less worried by things you cannot change. You will have more energy for the things you care about. Life will not feel so fast, and you will feel calm even if things around you are busy. Remember, the mind is always working. You cannot stop your thoughts or feelings, but you can choose which ones to listen to. You can train your mind in the same way that you would learn a new habit. This does not need to be hard. All it takes is noticing what your mind does, letting go of things you do not need, and coming back to the present moment. When you live this way, each day gets a small bit easier. You start to notice your patterns. You see what distracts you and learn how to come back to your true goals. You feel more control over your choices, and you become more patient with yourself and others. With practice, you may find your mind feeling more quiet. You will feel stronger inside, and you will know that you are able to guide your life in the direction you want, even when the world around you is full of changes and noise. This is the first step in creating a peaceful mind that can make better decisions every day. Your journey with the mind is a gentle practice. It is about coming back over and over to what matters most to you. Each day you have many chances to notice your thoughts, to feel your feelings, and to guide yourself to what you truly want. This does not happen in one day or one week, but with patience and honesty, your mind will learn to become your friend, and your focus will grow. As your mind slowly becomes steadier and calmer, you notice there are moments when you do things you did not want to do, or you react in a way that you wish you could change. You may promise yourself to avoid a bad habit, but then you find yourself repeating the same mistake later. After this happens, it is very easy to feel upset with yourself. You might wonder why you keep making the same errors, and you might even start to feel like you will never change. These thoughts and feelings are very normal. No person is perfect. All people have times when they act in ways they do not like or make choices that bring trouble. Sometimes mistakes are small, like forgetting something important. Other times they feel much bigger, like treating someone badly, avoiding a duty, or giving up on an important promise to yourself. Weakness and mistakes are part of being human. Nobody can escape them, not even the wisest leaders or the people who seem very strong on the outside. What matters most is not trying to hide these mistakes or weaknesses. It is more important to see and accept them with honesty. When you notice you have done something wrong, or you see that you are weak in a certain way, this is a chance to learn. Do not turn away from the mistake. Do not cover it up. If you pretend it did not happen, it stays with you and can grow inside. The energy it takes to hide mistakes is often more than the energy it would take to face them and act kindly with yourself. Marcus Aurelius, as you know, was a great leader who shared wisdom for everyday life. He wrote often about his own mistakes, about his feelings of weakness, and about things he wished he could do better. He did not act as though he was perfect or without failure. Instead, he looked at every mistake as a message. He tried to see what each mistake could teach him, and then he did his best to improve step by step. This way of seeing mistakes can help you feel less afraid. When you accept that you will sometimes do things the wrong way, you lose the fear of being imperfect. You stop blaming yourself for being human. Marcus Aurelius taught that the only person who never fails is the person who never tries to do anything new or hard. If you are growing, there will be small falls and bigger stumbles. This is all part of learning and living. Facing your weaknesses is also a very honest thing to do. To look at yourself clearly, you need to accept that some things about you are hard to change. Maybe you are quick to feel angry, or maybe you wait too long to do important tasks. Maybe you forget things, or you feel unsure in some places in your life. All people carry their own mix of strengths and weaknesses. Honesty makes you strong, not weak. When you look at your flaws and weaknesses, you bring them out into the open. Now they are not something in the shadows. You can see them, understand them, and decide what you want to do about them. This step is the start of real self-discipline. Sometimes when people see their mistakes, they feel guilt or shame. These are strong feelings. Guilt can make you feel very small inside. Shame can make you want to stop trying or can freeze you in place. Marcus Aurelius understood these feelings too. He wrote that it is helpful to see guilt as a sign to look more closely, not a punishment. If you feel bad for something you did, use this as a message. Ask, what is this feeling trying to show me? In this way, each mistake turns into a lesson. You do not need to punish yourself for being weak or making a mistake. You also do not need to excuse what happened. The best road is to see what happened clearly, feel your feelings honestly, forgive yourself gently, and look for a way forward. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It means you accept that you are not perfect, and you promise yourself to try again with more care. It is helpful to write your mistakes down as Marcus Aurelius did. At the end of your day, take a little time to think about what went well and what did not go as you wanted. If you lost patience with someone, skipped something important, or fell into a habit you are trying to break, write it down. See the mistake without anger. Just notice it and describe it. When you see the same mistake coming back many times, it can be good to ask yourself when, where, and why this mistake happens the most. You might notice that when you are tired, you make more errors. Maybe stress makes you forget your goals. Perhaps you repeat a bad habit when you feel lonely or afraid. These moments carry important information for you. When you understand what causes you to slip, it becomes easier to change your pattern step by step. It is also important to notice small improvements. Sometimes people miss this. They look only at mistakes and feel stuck. But if you look gently and honestly, you will see places where you have done better. Maybe you stopped yourself from making a mistake that you made often before. Maybe you noticed your weakness and acted with more patience than before. Every small improvement is important. You will notice that some mistakes are easy to change, while others come back again and again. Instead of feeling sad about this, remember that every person carries some lifelong weaknesses. These are not signs that you are broken. They are just a part of what makes you, you. If you work to make these weaknesses smaller, or if you learn to live better with them, you grow as a person. Some people think that showing weakness makes others think badly of them, so they try very hard to hide mistakes or act as if nothing is wrong. This is tiring, and it builds walls between you and the people you spend time with. If you are honest about your mistakes, you will find that others are often relieved. Many people feel the same way, but are too afraid to speak about it. When you are honest, it can help others be more honest, too. Talking about your mistakes with someone you trust can help. Share what you have learned with a friend, family member, or someone who listens without judging. They might even show you that your mistake is not as big or as bad as you imagine. You might start to see that everyone is working on their own weak points, and you are not alone. When you accept a mistake, say to yourself, "I see what happened, and I want to do better." This simple promise is how you start to change. You do not need to make big speeches or set impossible goals. You just need to remind yourself that tomorrow or the next time, you will act with a little more care. Another important thing Marcus Aurelius wrote is that you should not let any one mistake become your whole story. One error, one day, or one weak moment does not decide who you are for your whole life. If you fall, you can get up and begin again. If you fail once, you can try another time. Each day gives you a new chance to act with honesty and kindness. Forgiving yourself is not easy for everyone. You may feel angry at how many times you have done the same thing wrong. You may want to give up and say, "I will never change." But real forgiveness means knowing change is slow and showing patience with yourself. It means treating yourself the way you would treat a friend who is trying their best. If you find it hard to forgive yourself, try this. Picture what you might say to someone you care about if they made the same mistake. Would you be harsh, or would you tell them it is okay to try again? Most of the time, you would be gentle and helpful. Give yourself the same kindness. It also helps to remember that weakness is not always a bad thing. Many times, the parts of us that are weak help us to understand others better. They make us willing to listen, to learn, and to connect. People who hide their weaknesses often feel alone. People who accept and work with their weaknesses can become more loving and wise. Learning from a mistake is about seeing what led up to it, how you felt, and what you did. The next time you are in the same situation, you can pause and remember what you learned. Marcus Aurelius called this preparing your mind. If you know you get angry when things go wrong, you can tell yourself, "I might feel anger here, but I can choose not to act on it." If you know you become lazy when things seem boring, remind yourself to focus for just a little longer. Doing this over and over makes you more ready for the next time. Sometimes, your mistakes will not only affect you, they can hurt other people. When this happens, it is important to admit what happened, say sorry, and do your best to repair what you can. This takes courage, but it brings more peace both to you and to others. You might wonder if there will ever be a time when you stop making mistakes. The answer is that no one reaches a point where they are perfect. Even the most careful and wise people still slip sometimes. But each time you notice a mistake a little sooner, each time you act more kindly to yourself or to others because you learned from a mistake, you are growing. The process of accepting and learning from mistakes is gentle and slow. You may notice changes after a few days, or it may take weeks to see the difference. The important thing is to keep going. Every honest look at your own actions makes it easier to grow. Every act of kindness to yourself or to someone else builds stronger self-discipline. There will be moments when you feel you are going backwards, when old habits come back just as strong as before. Do not let this stop you. These moments are normal, and they do not mean you are failing. Remind yourself you are still learning. You are giving yourself a second, third, or even 10th chance to do better. Feeling shame and fear about mistakes is heavy, but when you look at them gently and learn from them, you begin to feel lighter. You find you have more strength for the things that matter most. You also become someone who can help others, because you know what it is like to try and fall and try again. You can also build new habits to support your growth. When you notice you keep making the same mistake at the same time or place, try changing one thing in your daily routine. If you are always late, leave a bit earlier. If you forget to do something, make a note. These little actions can help you see progress, even when the bigger changes seem slow. Mistakes and weaknesses will always be a part of your story, but they do not have to be the main part. With practice, they can become just one piece of a much larger picture. When you face them with honesty and kindness, you become more peaceful inside. You build a life where growth is possible at any age or stage. By choosing to see and accept your mistakes and weaknesses, you open the door for real self-discipline. You begin to trust yourself, even when things go wrong. You learn that being human means both falling and getting up. Each day becomes a new start, no matter what happened before. Your journey is not about being flawless. It is about noticing each step, acting with honesty, and treating yourself with care. In this way, you make your mind and your heart stronger, not just for yourself, but for everyone whose life you touch. When you start to see your mistakes and weaknesses with a gentle and honest heart, you can then make new choices. This does not mean you have to be perfect. It means you can grow, one moment at a time, by being aware of yourself as you move through each day. This awareness is the key to self-discipline and to a peaceful mind. To become aware means to notice what you are thinking and feeling, and to watch how you act without turning away or judging yourself too quickly. Awareness is not magic, and it is not something that only a few people have. Every person can learn to be more aware. Often, people go through their days without stopping to notice their own thoughts or the way their feelings shape their choices. From the time you wake up until the hour you go to sleep, you may move from one thing to another without a pause. You eat, talk, work, play, and rest. Many times, you do these things without really thinking about them. You follow habits, you react to feelings, you respond to others, and the day passes quickly. Learning to pay attention to your inner world is a quiet skill. It does not take much time each day, but it changes everything about how you live. Marcus Aurelius found that life grows more peaceful and real when you practice this type of awareness. If a thought comes, you notice it. If a feeling grows inside, you take a moment to look at it instead of hiding or running away. With practice, you see the patterns that lead you to old mistakes. You can begin to choose differently, one thought or action at a time. It is very simple to begin. You do not need special tools, money, or training. You need only a little time and willingness to try. In the morning, before the noise and hurry of the day, you can sit quietly for a few minutes. Feel your breath move in and out. Notice any thoughts, worries, or hopes that come to your mind. If you find yourself thinking about yesterday or worrying about tomorrow, gently return your focus to the present moment. You are only here, right now. Throughout your day, you can bring this same awareness into everything you do. As you eat, notice the taste and feeling of each bite. When you walk, pay attention to your steps and to the world around you. When you listen to another person, give them your full attention. Try to notice the tone of their voice, the words they choose, and the feelings behind those words. Each of these small acts is a way of practicing awareness. One of the strongest parts of awareness is noticing your own thoughts as they come and go. A thought may appear quickly like, "I cannot do this," or "I am tired." Instead of believing this thought at once, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helpful? If you do not know, just notice that it was only a thought, not a fact. In the same way, when you find yourself judging other people or yourself, just notice this judgment. You do not need to follow it. You can let it be and choose to act with more kindness or patience. Feelings also come and go in your mind and body. Maybe you feel anger, fear, excitement, pressure, or happiness. The first step is only to notice the feeling. You do not need to push it away, hide from it, or act on it right away. Say quietly to yourself, "I feel sad," or "I feel excited," or "I feel worried." Naming the feeling helps you pause and wait before you react. Each feeling, even the hardest ones, is a signal. The signal tells you something about what you need or care about. Awareness grows in small moments. It helps you catch yourself before you act without thinking. If you feel the urge to say something mean, awareness helps you notice that urge before you speak. If you want to give up or avoid a hard task, awareness lets you see the feeling and pause. You have a moment to ask, what do I really want now? What would help me most? Over time, you get better at choosing actions that match your true values instead of being controlled by each passing thought or feeling. Marcus Aurelius practiced awareness by keeping a notebook. At night, before he slept, he would think over his day. He would ask himself, where did I do well? Where did I lose focus? He did not judge himself harshly. He simply wrote about what happened, what he learned, and how he might act tomorrow with more wisdom. You can do the same. It does not matter if you write a lot or just a few words. The act of looking back on your day in a calm way helps your mind learn new habits. If you find it hard to remember to be aware, set a gentle reminder for yourself. Sometimes people use their phone or a note on the wall. You might write, pause and breathe, or notice your thoughts. Each time you see the reminder, take a moment to check in with your mind. Ask yourself what you are thinking and feeling. Notice if you are tense or relaxed, lost in old habits, or present in the moment. Practicing awareness is also helpful when you face strong distractions or temptations. Maybe you want to check your phone, eat when you are not hungry, or avoid a job that feels boring. Before you act, pause and ask, is this what I need right now? Will this help me reach my goal? If the answer is no, wait a few moments longer and watch what happens inside you. Often, the urge will pass, or you will see it in a new way. Some people find that awareness grows stronger when they use their breath as an anchor. When you feel anxious or upset, try to focus only on your breathing. Breathe in deeply and breathe out slowly. Notice the feeling of air moving in and out. This simple practice brings your attention back to the present and helps quiet your mind. You can do this anywhere, at any time. Another practice is to pause just before you act. If someone says something that upsets you, or if you feel a big emotion, stop before you answer. Feel your feet on the ground, take one breath, and then choose your response. This tiny pause gives you space to make a better choice instead of simply reacting from habit. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each day to pause before he acted and to speak with purpose. Awareness is not about being slow or afraid. It is about seeing yourself clearly and giving yourself more choice. You can notice your patterns, your strengths, and your weak points. When you are aware, you can decide to keep old habits or build new ones. If you slip, awareness lets you see it and come back again, gently. It is also helpful to notice how your environment affects your focus and actions. If you always get distracted in a busy place, it is good to be aware of that. You might need more quiet or a different space to make better choices. You can use awareness to guide how you spend your time and where you put your energy. Self-awareness also includes being gentle about your body. Notice when you are hungry, tired, or need movement or rest. Your mind and body are always sending you signals. If you pay attention, you can take better care of yourself and be more ready to face each day's challenges. Sometimes you may notice that you are not aware at all. Hours pass, and you find you did things without thinking. This is normal. Do not be angry or sad. When you become aware again, thank yourself for noticing. Come back to your breath or your next action. Each return to awareness is a step toward more self-discipline. If you want to build this habit, try choosing small moments to practice each day. When you brush your teeth, drink water, or open a door, use that time to pause and check in with yourself. What am I feeling? What am I thinking? Where is my attention right now? These tiny habits add up and help shape bigger changes in your mind. Awareness also includes how you treat other people. When you talk to someone, really listen. Notice if you are distracted or thinking about something else. Bring your attention back to the person in front of you. When you listen with real awareness, you make the other person feel important and you learn more about yourself and about them. Over time, your life will begin to feel different. You may find that you need less energy to avoid mistakes and that your mind is quieter. You act with purpose instead of reacting out of habit or stress. You see yourself more kindly, noticing both your strengths and your weak points. This is the gift of gentle awareness. Marcus Aurelius believed that awareness was the root of all wise action. Without it, people would repeat the same mistakes again and again. With self-awareness, you can start to choose what you want to keep and what you want to let go. You become the guide of your own mind, not just a passenger. If you find yourself forgetting to be aware, remember that starting over is always possible. There is no perfect day. There is no fault in forgetting. Each new moment is a chance to practice again. You can share your practice with others if you wish. Sometimes, telling a friend or family member about your awareness helps both of you learn together. You can ask each other gentle questions like, "How are you really feeling right now?" Or, "What have you noticed about yourself today?" Sharing your journey brings support and reminds you that everyone is learning, no matter their age or experience. Practicing awareness will sometimes feel easy and sometimes hard. Life brings stress, surprises, and busy moments. The way to keep going is to be gentle with yourself. Appreciate every small effort, every quiet pause, every moment you bring yourself back to the present. With every step, your mind grows more disciplined, your choices become wiser, and you become a little more peaceful inside. As you grow more aware, you are able to see your triggers. Those things that often lead you to act before thinking. Maybe stress, hunger, or feeling left out makes you react quickly. Knowing your triggers helps you plan ahead. You can move more slowly when you know a hard moment is coming. You can tell yourself, "This is a moment to breathe and notice what I feel before I choose how to act." Making awareness a daily practice is like learning to listen to a quiet voice inside you. Over time, this voice grows stronger and more familiar. You learn to trust your own judgment and feel safer within yourself. Even when mistakes still happen, you notice them sooner and know how to respond with care. Self-discipline is not about control or harsh limits. It is about knowing yourself from the inside out. When you are aware, you can meet each day with honesty and openness. You do not need to fear your thoughts or feelings. You know they are part of life, and you have the power to guide what you do next. Each step you take to notice yourself is a step toward a more peaceful, focused life. As you continue to practice, you will find that awareness becomes as natural as breathing. You will trust yourself more, forgive yourself easier, and stand stronger through life's ups and downs. With simple awareness, your whole life can begin to change, one gentle moment at a time. Noticing your thoughts and feelings as they happen brings a new sense of calm to your day. When you begin to grow this awareness, you gain something very important. You discover the space that exists right before you act or speak. This small pause may be short, like only one breath, but it can quietly change each decision you make. Your days are filled with tiny moments when you need to respond. Maybe you hear someone call your name, or you read a message, or you feel an emotion rise up inside you. In these moments, your first instinct might be to respond without thinking. You might speak quickly, act fast, or reach for something out of habit. Most people move through life without noticing this short time between what happens to them and how they react. Marcus Aurelius learned about this pause from his own life. When he felt strong feelings, he trained himself to stop before he let those feelings guide his words or actions. He practiced waiting, even for just one breath, to see what he was feeling first. This practice showed him that the pause gave him control where before there was only reaction. Imagine you are walking and someone bumps into you. Your body might tense and you might feel a spark of anger. Instead of reacting right away, you can take a breath. In that breath, you notice your feeling. You see that you are angry, but you also see that you can decide how you will act. Maybe you will choose to say nothing, or maybe you will speak calmly. The choice is yours now because you did not react with the first feeling or thought you had. The pause can also help when you face worry, sadness, or fear. When something scares you or makes you want to give up, stop for just a moment. Take a breath and see what is happening inside you. You might find that your fear is smaller when you look at it. You might discover that you are stronger than you thought. The simple act of pausing lets you choose instead of only reacting. You can begin to practice pausing throughout your day, even in quiet moments. When you feel an impulse to check your phone, eat food, or get up from your chair, notice the feeling first. Ask yourself, what am I about to do? Why do I want to do this? What do I really need right now? The pause is a gentle tool. It is not meant to make you stop living. It is meant to help you see your choices more clearly. When you keep bringing your mind back to the pause, you give yourself time to pick your response. This helps you act in ways that are useful and gentle, even when you feel upset or excited. Without this pause, your actions are only habits. With it, every action can become a choice. Pausing also helps you understand the feelings and needs of others. When someone speaks to you with anger or sadness, your first feeling might be to defend yourself or say something sharp in return. If you pause before reacting, you might see that the other person is having a hard day. You might choose to listen or to wait instead of making things worse. The pause can bring more respect and care into every relationship. Many people think that changing their actions must be hard or take a lot of effort. They think they have to push themselves with force to do the right thing. But this small pause, just one short break before acting, is a much easier way. You do not have to fight yourself. You only have to remember to stop and breathe, and then choose again. You can connect the pause with your breath. Each time something happens that makes you feel strong emotion or confusion, breathe in deeply and breathe out slowly. Feel your feet on the ground. Let the moment be quiet. If your mind is busy, focus only on the sound and weight of your breath. After this pause, you may see new ways to react that you did not notice before. At first, you might forget to pause. You may react out of habit many times in a day. This is normal. Every time you remember to pause, you are practicing. Each time you do it, even for only a few seconds, the habit will grow. In time, this pause becomes part of your daily life. Some people find it helpful to use gentle reminders as they build this new habit. You might put a note on your door, your desk, or your phone that says, "Pause," or "Take one breath." These reminders can help you remember when the day is busy and your mind feels full. Each reminder is a message to pay attention and to give yourself the time you need to choose. You can use this pause in many different situations. If you are at work and you get a message that makes you upset, stop before you answer. Breathe and let your first emotions pass. You may find that a calmer answer comes to you. If you are with your family or friends and you feel frustrated, pause before you speak. Sometimes a few quiet seconds is all you need to avoid saying words you do not really mean. The small pause is useful with yourself too. Sometimes you may judge yourself or feel bad when you make a mistake. Before you think harsh words about yourself, pause and watch your thoughts. Remind yourself that it is okay to make mistakes and that you can be gentle. This helps you build self-love and patience. As you get better at pausing, you begin to see your triggers more clearly. Triggers are the things that quickly lead you to speak or act before you want. Maybe it is when you feel rushed, tired, or pushed by others. When you notice a trigger, use it as a signal to pause and breathe. Over time, your triggers lose their power and you feel more steady inside. Marcus Aurelius would write in his notebook about the times he did not pause and what happened after. He would also notice when pausing helped him act with wisdom and calm. You can do the same. At the end of your day, think of the moments when you paused. Celebrate these small successes. Think about the times when you missed the pause and reacted quickly. Do this without blame. Each day, try again. The habit will grow. You may also notice that after pausing, some problems seem smaller, and you can solve them more easily. Sometimes, waiting even a minute helps strong feelings pass. Other times, the pause gives you a new idea or helps you remember what matters most. The space between what happens to you and how you choose to respond is always there, even if it is tiny. You only need to notice it. If you practice pausing before acting for several days or weeks, you might feel calmer and more confident. You have more trust in your ability to choose your actions, not just follow old habits or strong feelings. The pause helps your mind grow stronger and your decisions feel better inside. When you share this habit with others, you help them too. If someone around you is upset, you can pause before you answer. Your calm presence may help them pause as well. This is how small changes in you can touch the people around you and make life better for everyone. During times of stress or surprise, the pause can be harder to find. You might feel like everything is moving too fast and there is no time to stop. Remember, even one breath can make a difference. Practicing during quiet moments helps you in harder moments because you remember how it feels to wait and to choose. Every action you take after a pause is a small step in self-discipline. You are teaching your mind and body that they do not need to rush. You are showing yourself that choices are always possible, even in busy days or strong emotions. Sometimes the pause can help you notice when you are about to hurt yourself or someone else with your words. In this moment, you can choose not to say those words. You can choose silence, or you can choose a kind reply. This power is always with you. Each gentle pause is a step away from regret and a step toward wisdom. This practice does not end after a month or a year. Because life always brings new people, challenges, and feelings, there will always be new chances to pause and choose. Each day is new. Each breath is a chance to change your action. You may discover other ways to use the pause. When you are about to buy something you do not need, pause and ask yourself if it really matters. When you feel a strong wish to avoid a hard job, pause and notice your resistance. When you are about to say yes or no, pause to check if that answer feels true for you. The pause is your tool for any part of life. There will be mistakes. You may pause and still act in a way you do not like. You may forget the pause when you need it most. This is normal. The habit grows by practice, not by being perfect. Each time you remember, you are doing well. With time, you will notice that moments of tension feel shorter. Arguments or problems seem less scary. Your voice is calmer. Your body feels softer, and your mind is more at peace. The pause gives you more control, but it also gives you more kindness, both for yourself and for others. Children and elders alike can use the pause. It does not need special training. You only need the wish to grow and the patience to try again and again. Pause, breathe, and choose. That is the way to build self-discipline without force or anger. Remember to reward yourself for each pause. When you notice you made a better choice because you waited a moment, say something kind to yourself. Each positive act builds your trust in yourself for the next time. Self-discipline grows from these small moments. When your day feels busy and you forget the pause, do not worry. At any time, you can return to your breath and find the pause again. Every new moment is a chance to start fresh. As you rest at the end of your day, think of the times the pause helped you. Maybe you avoided a fight. Maybe you made a careful decision. Maybe you simply felt proud that you waited instead of rushing. These moments are your guides. Hold them close and remember them each morning as you wake up. The habit of pausing before acting can help every part of life. In work, in friendships, with family, and with your dreams, the power to pause is always with you. Over days, weeks, and months, you will see how much calmer and wiser you become. To practice this every day is to train your mind in kindness and in strength. One pause, one breath, and you are already making a better life for yourself and for those you love. This is the gentle way to true self-discipline and true peace. Each day that you choose to pause before you act, you begin to see how much gentleness matters in your life. You notice that self-discipline is not just about saying yes or no to things. It is not only about rules or controlling your actions. Self-discipline is also about how you treat yourself when you make mistakes or when you find something difficult. Many people believe that to be disciplined, you must be hard on yourself. They think that if they are strict or angry when things go wrong, they will do better next time. But this is not true. True strength comes from kindness. It comes from learning to be your own friend. Marcus Aurelius understood that being gentle with yourself is a practice. He saw that all people struggle and all people make mistakes. He did not try to punish himself for being human. When he made a mistake or acted in a way he did not like, he wrote about it in his notebook. He did not write to blame himself. He wrote to see clearly what happened and to remind himself that each day is a chance to do better. He believed that self-kindness was a part of true discipline. Being kind to yourself may feel strange at first. If you grew up hearing that mistakes are bad or that you should never fail, then you might be used to speaking harshly to yourself in your mind. When something goes wrong, maybe you say, "I am not good enough," or "I always fail." This way of thinking makes you feel small and tired. If you hear these words in your mind every day, it is hard to feel hope or courage. Self-kindness is different. When you notice a mistake, you say to yourself, "This is a hard moment. I am still learning." You might say, "It is normal to make mistakes. Everyone is learning all the time." These words are soft, but they are also honest. They do not let you run from your problems, but they help you feel strong enough to try again. You may wonder if being gentle with yourself will make you lazy or weak. Sometimes people worry that if they do not push themselves hard, they will not reach their goals. But when you look at your mistakes with kindness, you actually recover more quickly. You learn from what happened instead of hiding it or running from it. You are less afraid to try again. You find the courage to keep going, even when the road feels long. Think about how you speak to a friend who is struggling. If your friend says, "I failed," you would not say, "You are bad and should give up." Instead, you would say, "It is okay. Everyone fails sometimes. You can try again." You can give yourself the same words. When you fall, tell yourself, "This is not the end of my story. I am still growing." These gentle words help turn a hard moment into a new start. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, morning and night, that self-compassion is not the same as giving up. It is not letting yourself do whatever you want. It is supporting yourself so you can keep trying. Self-compassion gives you the safety you need to face your habits and change them. When you feel safe with yourself, you are honest. When you are honest, you can see what needs to change and start making small steps. You can practice kindness in many little ways through your day. When you wake up, thank yourself for trying. When you forget something, remind yourself, "Forgetting happens. I can do better next time." If you lose your patience or say something you do not mean, apologize and forgive yourself. Tell yourself, "I am learning how to be better." These small acts of kindness make a big difference over time. Showing self-kindness can also help your body. When you feel tired, do not punish yourself or call yourself lazy. Instead, notice that your body needs rest and let yourself have what you need. When you feel sick or sad, give yourself extra care. Drink water, eat good food, and get enough sleep. This is not weakness. It is respect for the body and mind you live with every day. Many people find it hard to be kind to themselves at work or in school. They may feel they are not as smart, fast, or talented as others. When these thoughts appear, bring gentle awareness to them. Remind yourself, "I am enough as I am. I am doing my best right now." Each person learns at their own pace, You do not need to be perfect, only willing to keep going. At home, self-kindness can help you build better habits. If you are trying to change something, like cleaning more, eating better, or spending less time online, be gentle when you forget. Instead of saying, "I failed again," say, "It is normal to forget while I learn something new." The more you practice, the easier it becomes to restart after every fall. If you have children or care for others, you can show self-kindness as an example. When they see you forgive your own mistakes and try again with patience, they learn to do the same. You give them a safe space to grow without fear. Kindness is something you can give and something you can share. Sometimes you will not know the right thing to do. You might feel lost or confused. In these moments, self-kindness means waiting without blame. Remind yourself, it is okay not to have all the answers now. Give yourself time to learn. Give yourself the same patience you would give a friend. The answers may come with time, rest, or new understanding. When strong feelings like anger, fear, or sadness appear, self-compassion helps you meet them gently. Instead of pushing them away, you can tell yourself, "It is hard to feel this way, but I am not alone." All people have strong feelings. Your job is not to judge yourself for them, but to notice and allow them to be there. You can also use gentle touch or movement to care for yourself. If you feel tense, place a hand over your heart or on your stomach and breathe slowly. This can calm your body. You can stretch or walk quietly for a few minutes. These simple acts are ways to show yourself care. Writing can help with self-kindness, just as it did for Marcus Aurelius. Each day, write one thing you did well, no matter how small. Write one way you tried, even if you did not succeed. Write a gentle promise to yourself. Keep these notes nearby to remind you on hard days. Some days, self-kindness will feel easy. Other days, you may feel critical again. That is normal. Old habits take time to change. Each time you notice harsh thoughts, replace them with softer words. Each time you fall, get up with care. You do not need to be gentle all the time for the habit to grow. Every effort counts. Self-compassion also means understanding when to ask for help. If you feel stuck, sad, or unable to move forward, talk to someone you trust. This could be a friend, family member, or a professional helper. Reaching out is a sign of strength. Sharing your feelings can remind you that you are not alone in your struggles. As you grow in kindness toward yourself, you will also notice kindness growing in how you treat others. You may judge less and forgive more easily. You may feel more patient when someone else makes a mistake. It becomes easier to see that all people, like you, are learning and doing their best. Kindness to yourself is also kindness to the world. When you are gentle, you do not waste energy on harsh judgment. You use your energy to build new habits to help others and to enjoy life. You are more likely to face challenges with a calm mind and a soft heart. Small rituals can support your practice. In the morning, thank yourself for waking up and trying again. At night, forgive yourself for anything that did not go as you wished. Tell yourself, tomorrow is a new start. Use reminders around your home or in your phone to say, be gentle today. These small signals help keep kindness close. If you set goals, make them kind as well as clear. Do not demand perfection. Say, I will try my best. If I fall, I will start again. Reward your efforts, not just your successes. Celebrate the days you did well. Encourage yourself gently on harder days. Marcus Aurelius practiced self-compassion until it became part of his nature. He found that being gentle with himself did not make him weak. Instead, it gave him the courage to face hard days and solve deep problems. He was able to treat everyone with patience because he was patient with himself. This is a lesson you can use for your whole life. Day by day, as you continue to pause, to notice your feelings, and to care for yourself with kindness, you are growing real self-discipline. It is not a discipline of force, but of trust, forgiveness, and steady practice. You will learn to trust yourself more as time passes. You will feel less afraid of making mistakes because you know you can always try again. When life feels hard or you do not see progress, use self-kindness to keep going. Give yourself space to rest. Tell yourself, it is enough just to be here and to try. After a while, you may notice you have changed. You may see that your mind is quieter and your heart is stronger. You may have more energy for your dreams and more patience for others. You can build this habit slowly. You do not need to make big changes all at once. If you begin with just one kind word to yourself each day, that is enough. Each quiet act of care plants a seed. With time and steady practice, your whole way of thinking can grow into something peaceful. Remember to celebrate every effort, no matter how small. Smile at your progress. Forgive every mistake and begin again. Each gentle choice is another step to a good and calm life. Let self-kindness guide your self-discipline. With each breath, each pause, and each act of care for yourself, you build a foundation that nothing can shake. You will learn that being a friend to yourself is one of the strongest tools you have for every part of life. When you start to treat yourself with gentleness each day, it becomes easier to keep moving forward, even when things are not simple. Self-discipline becomes something you build step by step, not all at once. You learn that you do not have to change your whole life in one morning. You can make progress with small steps you choose, again and again, every day. The way to grow true discipline is through daily practice, always mixed with patience and care. Many people think they must do something big to change. They wait for the perfect moment or believe they must fix everything now. But Marcus Aurelius saw the value in small beginnings. He noticed that real change comes most often from actions that are repeated in gentle ways. You can take a small action today. Tomorrow, you take another small action. After a week or after 21 days, you may look back and see that small choices have started to build a new habit in your life. You can make a plan for yourself that is simple and kind. You do not have to fill every hour of your day with work or with rules. Instead, choose one or two things you want to focus on. These can be simple, like taking a deep breath before you speak, writing down something good about your day, or putting your phone away while you eat. What matters most is that you keep going a little bit every day, even if some days are harder than others. To help make your new practice strong, pick a regular time to do it. You might choose the morning, before your family wakes up, or before you start work or school. Or you might choose quiet time at night, after dinner or before sleeping. You do not need more than a few minutes. When you practice at about the same time each day, it becomes easier to remember. After many days, your mind starts to expect it, and the habit feels natural. Writing things down can make your progress clearer. You can use a notebook, your phone, or even a piece of paper. Each day, write what you did to practice your self-discipline. You can note one thing you did well, or a moment you remembered to pause, or something you learned about yourself. By writing, you show yourself that you are really trying, and you see how little by little you are getting better. If you miss a day, do not be harsh with yourself. Everyone misses days sometimes. Kindness means that you can always begin again. You do not lose what you learned on other days. You just start where you are. Even if you stop for a week or a month, it is never too late to start again. The habit grows through coming back again and again. You can also make your practice stronger by telling a friend or family member about your goal. When you share your plan with someone who cares for you, you create support for yourself. You help each other remember. You can send a message each day or talk at the end of the week about what you learned. If there is no one you want to share with, you can still talk to yourself, saying what you hope for and what you want to try again tomorrow. As you practice, notice the changes inside you. Maybe now you pause before a hard task, instead of running away. You might see that you respond with more calm words to others, or that your thoughts are less fixed on mistakes. There may be some days when you feel nothing, or when the old habit seems strong again. This is normal. Real change is slow and quiet. Every time you return to your practice, you are building a deeper habit and a stronger mind. Some days, it is hard to get started. On these days, choose the smallest step you can. Maybe you decide to take 3 deep breaths before your day begins. Maybe you write one short line about how you feel. You can even look out the window in silence for 1 minute, just to notice yourself and remind yourself to pay attention. Any step is enough. It does not have to be big to be important. You can choose different practices that fit what you need. One day, you might reflect on your thoughts or feelings from the day. Another day, you might check how well you followed your main goal. If you forget or have a hard day, remind yourself that it is normal and that each new day is a new chance. The most important thing is simply to keep coming back, no matter what happens. For some people, practicing self-discipline in groups helps. You can invite a friend, your partner, or people from work or school to join you in a small daily habit. Together, you can support each other, share ideas, and celebrate each small success. If you like doing things alone, that is also good. You do not need to share if you prefer privacy. The main thing is to keep your promise to yourself. Celebrate your progress, even if it seems small. If you remembered to pause before answering a phone call, tell yourself, "Well done." If you kept your daily practice for just 3 days, reward yourself with a kind word, a walk, or a favorite meal. When you focus on your successes, your mind begins to look for more chances to succeed. Notice what makes your practice easier and what makes it harder. You may find that your environment helps or hurts your focus. If many noises distract you, try to find a quiet space. If your phone or computer pulls you away from your goal, put them out of reach for a few minutes. If you find it easier to stay focused after eating or after a short walk, plan to practice self-discipline then. The more you learn about when you are at your strongest, the more success you will find. If you make rules for yourself, make sure they are gentle but clear. For example, you might say, "I will write in my notebook every night for 5 minutes," or "I will pause and breathe before answering when I feel upset." Small and clear steps are easier to keep than big or complicated rules. As you repeat these small actions, they join together to shape a new pattern in your mind. You may want to track your progress. People sometimes use a calendar, a chart, or a simple checklist. Each time you finish your daily practice, mark it down. Looking at your progress can remind you how far you have come, especially on days when you feel discouraged. Over the weeks, your small daily steps will begin to change how you feel. You may notice your mind is calmer and you are quicker to return to focus after being distracted. Problems that once felt big may now feel smaller. You may even see your old habits fade away, replaced by new ones that help you feel peaceful and sure. Sometimes you will meet setbacks. You might forget your practice on busy days or feel like you do not want to keep going. This happens to everyone. When life is hard, rest if you need it and return to your practice when you can. Trust that every effort counts, even the smallest. Each day you grow stronger, not because you are perfect, but because you are steady. Marcus Aurelius believed that real strength does not come from doing something once in a while, but from daily effort, even when it is quiet and gentle. The mind learns from what you do many times, not from what you wish. If you do something each day, breathing, writing, pausing, reflecting, your mind changes slowly, in ways that last. If you want your habits to last, do not set too many goals at once. Choose 1 or 2 things you really care about and give them your honest attention. When these become easy, you can add another small habit. This slow building is better than trying to do many things and then stopping after a few days. If you forget why you are practicing, remind yourself. Write down your reason on a piece of paper and keep it where you see it. Your reason may be simple. I want to be calmer, or I want to choose my actions more, or I am learning to be kind to myself. Read your reason every morning or every night. This helps bring your practice into your life, not just your mind. Try to notice benefits that are not always easy to count. You may find you sleep better, or that you listen more to people you love. You may feel a little lighter in your chest, or more hopeful about your goals. These changes are important, even if they do not always look like big wins. Do not worry if your practice looks different from someone else's. Each person learns and grows in their own way. What works for you might not help another person. Trust your own pace. Be honest about what feels right and what feels hard. Respect every step you take, even if it seems small to others. If you want to build a daily self-discipline practice with children, use game or story times, short daily meetings, or gentle questions at dinner. For older people, tea time, reading, or taking slow walks together can all work well. People at any age can build habits together or alone. The key is gentle repetition and kindness. Remember to rest. Self-discipline does not mean you never stop. It means you know when to act and when to let yourself recover. Rest is part of growing strong and steady. If you need a break, take it. When you are ready, return to your daily practice with a calm mind. You can also use music, art, or nature in your daily steps. Listen to one song and pay attention to the words or sounds. Draw or write about one feeling. Go outside, notice the weather or the birds, and breathe slowly for a few minutes. These small creative steps help you learn to pause and reflect, and they make your practice more enjoyable. Keep your steps simple and possible. 1 minute of awareness counts. 3 slow breaths before a meal count. Smiling at yourself in the mirror counts. If you can grow from one small step today, tomorrow brings another. Each is enough. It is common to want results quickly. You may hope to be free of old habits after only a few tries, but real change takes time, much more than most people hope. Trust that every effort, no matter how brief or small, helps to build something steady. Over 21 days of simple, daily effort, your mind starts to learn the new habit on its own. As you repeat your habit, tell yourself you are choosing a new way of life, not just a short plan. Remind yourself daily of the freedom you feel when you are able to pause, notice your feelings, and act with gentle strength. Self-discipline is not about being hard all the time. It is about keeping your promises and respecting yourself each day. Every morning and every evening is a new chance. Each day, choose one small thing to do with care and attention. In time, these steps become who you are. You will find extra strength to pause before you react, to listen before you speak, to write or breathe or rest before jumping to old habits. As you build your daily self-discipline with these small steps, your life changes quietly and deeply. You learn to trust yourself and to care for whatever comes your way. Even when days are difficult or energy feels low, your daily practice becomes like a safe path you can walk again and again. Whatever your goals, your habits are built by these gentle daily acts. With every step you say, "I will try again today." This is the heart of self-discipline. Honest effort, gentle care, and repeated practice, one day at a time. As you gently repeat your daily practice, you may begin to notice something new about yourself. Your habits start to change in quiet ways, and you realize that having a direction makes every little step easier. When you are clear about what you truly want, you wake up each morning with more energy, and you end each day feeling more satisfied. Focusing on your real goals and learning to ignore distractions is one of the strongest gifts self-discipline can give you. Knowing your true goal is different from just wishing for many things at once. Each of us has dreams or wishes, but some are not very important to us. They come and go. Your real goals are those that matter to you deeply. They bring you closer to the kind of life you want to live. Ask yourself, what is it that you really wish for? What do you want to improve, to learn, or to make better? Not just today, but for months and years to come. Sit quietly for a few minutes and listen to your heart and mind. What rises to the surface again and again? You might find you want to be more patient with your family, learn a new skill, take better care of your health, or spend more time doing something meaningful. Write your main goal down on a piece of paper or in a notebook. When you see your main goal every day, it stays in your mind. It helps guide your choices, even when the world around you is busy and full of noise. Once you know your real goal, it is important to return to it often. Distractions are everywhere. The world brings new things to your attention every hour. Messages on a phone, people asking for your help, small tasks that seem urgent but are not really important. These distractions can easily take you away from your main goal. Hours pass, and you may look back and wonder where your time went. Marcus Aurelius talked about the need to keep your mind on what truly matters. He wrote that many things call for our attention, but only a few of them will help us live in a way we can respect. He reminded himself each morning of the kind of person he wanted to be and the life he wanted to build. You can do the same. Ask yourself at the start of each day, what is the most important thing for me today? This helps you make choices that match your goal. You do not have to ignore everything around you. Life brings duties, family, work, and rest. But if you let your main goal guide your actions, you will find more peace inside. Even small choices, like stopping to pause and take a breath, will help you remember where you want your life to go. At the end of the day, check again. Did my choices help me move closer to what matters most to me? To keep your focus strong, choose one or two main goals. Too many goals can confuse your mind. When you have a clear, simple goal, your mind learns to filter out things that do not help you. Each time you notice a distraction, gently bring your mind back to your goal. This is not always easy, and sometimes you will still follow distractions. That is normal. The skill grows each day as you practice. It can help to remind yourself why your goal is important. Maybe your goal supports your health, helps your family, or makes you feel more alive and hopeful. Look for the deep reason behind your goal. Write it down. During difficult days, read your reason again. This will bring you new strength to ignore things that try to pull you away from your chosen path. Distractions can come from outside or inside. Sometimes other people need your help, or new events appear that are out of your control. Sometimes the distractions are your own thoughts or feelings, like worry, fear, or plain boredom. When you notice you have been pulled away from your goal, do not blame yourself. Just pause, take a breath, and gently return your attention to what matters. You can also change your environment to support your focus. If you know that certain places, people, or things often distract you, make small adjustments. Turn off your phone for a short time each day. Sit in a quiet spot if you need to think or work on your goal. Tell friends or family about your plan so they do not interrupt you during your focused times. Even a few minutes of focus can help you move forward. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that life is short and energy is precious. He tried to use his time in ways that matched his values. He wrote that each moment is a chance to act with care and purpose. When you spend time on many distractions, you have less time and energy for what truly matters. If you catch yourself spending time on things that do not serve your real goal, pause and ask, does this action help me? Will this bring me closer to my main goal? If the answer is no, gently let the distraction go. Do not get mad at yourself. Simply begin again and point your attention back to what is important. Each day, try to do at least one thing that supports your goal. It does not have to be big. Maybe you make a healthy meal, learn one new word, talk with a loved one, move your body, or take 5 minutes to plan your next steps. Each small step counts, even if you do not move as fast as you expected. Sometimes your main goal may need to change. Life can bring surprises. You might find after many days or weeks that your goal is not right for you any longer. That is okay. Sit quietly, listen to your heart again, and choose a new goal that matches your true needs and hopes. Real focus is listening to yourself honestly and adjusting your direction with care. It can be helpful to keep a journal of your goal and your progress. Each evening, write about how your day went. Did you spend time on your main goal? Did you notice any distractions? What helped you focus and what made it harder? Reading back over these notes after several days or weeks helps you see patterns and make gentle changes. Sometimes other people's goals will mix with your own. Your boss, your family, your friends may all ask for your time or energy. It is kind to help others, but you must also keep space for your own real goal. If you find that you always say yes to others and never to yourself, practice saying no with gentle honesty. Tell people, I need this time for something important. As you respect your own goal, you teach others to respect your time too. Decide on simple signals or reminders to keep your goal present. You can put your written goal on your wall, on your computer, or near your bed. You can use a picture, a word, or a phrase that brings your goal to mind. Each time you see the reminder, pause and check. Am I moving closer to what matters to me? Building focus takes time. Old habits of distraction can be strong. But the more you return your mind to your real goal, the easier it becomes. At first, you may forget many times each day. Over weeks, you will find yourself coming back to your goal more quickly. You do not need to be perfect to make progress. Every effort matters. Ask yourself in the morning and at night, what can I do today to move toward my goal? Some days will be busy and the step may be very small. Other days, you might find more energy and be able to do more. Accept every step with kindness. If you notice envy, fear, or self-doubt as you watch others reach their goals, bring your attention back to your own path. Your journey is yours alone. What works for someone else may not work for you, and that is okay. Self-discipline is built on listening to your own heart and moving at your own speed. Celebrate when you ignore distractions, even if it is just for a few minutes. If you find that you did not follow your goal today, forgive yourself and start fresh the next day. Each time you practice and return to focus, you are training your mind. Sometimes your distractions can be hidden. You may think you are doing something important, but it does not really help your goal. Checking news, rearranging small things, or helping everyone but yourself can become a way of not moving forward. Use gentle, honest questions. Is this truly important to what I want? Is there a better way to use my energy? When you succeed at ignoring a distraction, take a few seconds to feel the peace and pride inside you. This good feeling gives you energy for the next step. Remember that rest is also part of focus. You cannot work only on your goal all the time. Let yourself take breaks to relax, enjoy nature, have fun, and connect with people you love. Rest fills you with new energy for your goal. Sometimes you may worry that your real goal is too difficult or too far away. When you feel this way, break it into smaller steps. If your goal is to improve your health, one small change today is enough. If you want to learn a skill, spend 10 minutes a day. Tiny steps, done every day, can carry you much farther than a long rush of work done only once. Each day, look for one thing you can let go of, something that does not help or that takes you away from what matters. Each day, choose one thing that brings you closer to your best life. This is how self-discipline grows, not through force, but through gentle, steady choices. At times, you might find your motivation drops or your goal feels impossible. When this happens, talk with someone you trust or read your reminders and reasons. Remember how far you have come. Trust that new energy will come if you keep your direction clear. Learn to notice the early signs of distraction, like wandering thoughts or tiredness. When you see these, pause and ask yourself what you really want right now. You may need a break, a meal, or a quiet moment. With practice, you will know how to honor your needs and return to your goal with new focus. If you have a setback, a day when you ignore your goal or follow distractions, treat yourself with care. Remember that every person gets distracted sometimes. Kindness and honesty bring you back to focus more surely than blame. Letting go of what does not matter is a practice. Each no to something unimportant gives you a stronger yes for what is important. You are making space in your life for what you really value. Keep choosing your true goal, return gently after every distraction, and let yourself celebrate each moment of focus. Over weeks, your mind will learn to pay attention more easily. You will feel more trust in yourself and see your dreams move closer, step by step. When you focus on your real goals and learn to ignore distractions, self-discipline becomes lighter and smoother. It is no longer something you fight for, but something you live each day. You do not need to control every minute. You need only to choose what really matters and let your choices rise from that place of gentle clarity. As you care for your main goal, remember that your journey is unique. You are free to start again at any time. Each day offers a new chance to focus on what matters most to you. With patience and kindness, bit by bit, you build a life you are proud of. When you start to make small choices that match what matters to you, something begins to change in the way you live. You see that self-discipline is not a skill you use only on special days. It becomes something you carry with you every morning, every afternoon, and every night. You do not need a special reason or a perfect situation to practice discipline. Each ordinary day offers a chance to use what you have learned. Stoic self-discipline, as taught by Marcus Aurelius, becomes a gentle part of who you are, not just something you reach for in hard moments. You grow this daily habit by remembering the simple steps you have been learning. Each day, pay attention to your thoughts and feelings without rushing to judge them. When you notice yourself about to act on impulse or habit, pause and use one breath to decide what is best. Speak to yourself and others with gentle honesty. When a mistake happens, see it as a lesson and forgive yourself kindly. These actions do not require a loud promise. They work because you return to them again and again, even on days when you feel tired, slow, or unsure. In every corner of your life, Stoic discipline can take root. At home, you use it to keep peace when someone is upset. At work or school, you use it to finish one thing before starting another, or to take a moment of calm before answering a question. When you feel bored or restless, you remind yourself why your goal is important, and you bring your attention back gently. Even during long waits or busy travel, you find stillness for a short time by focusing on your breath or remembering one kind thought. You may notice other people watching the way you act. You might hear someone ask you why you are so calm or how you are able to stay kind during stress. Your actions can quietly show others what is possible. You do not have to explain everything you do. People learn by seeing. As you stay steady, your friends, family, or co-workers may begin to follow your example or ask for your advice. You can help yourself remember these gentle habits with small reminders. Place a note in a place you see often. Use words like breathe, pause, or choose. Every time you see the word, take one moment to check your thoughts and feelings. Are you following your real goal? Are you being gentle to yourself and others? Even if you forget many times in one day, you can always return to the habit at the next moment. When you wake up, begin your day with intention. Before leaving your bed or starting your tasks, ask yourself one simple question. What kind of person do I want to be today? Let your answer guide some of your choices. You do not have to plan every hour. Just keep the feeling with you as you move from task to task. During the day, As you make choices, practice letting go of things that do not help you. You may find old habits or quick temptations calling for your attention. Notice them, and then repeat your chosen habit. This could be taking a deep breath, waiting before you speak, or acting with patience. It could be focusing on your main goal for 10 minutes, or saying no to a distraction. You will have days full of mistakes, or days where your mind is busy and your feelings are strong. These days are not failures. They are practice. Every time you bring yourself back to what matters, you are doing the work of discipline. If you forget or get lost, forgive yourself right away and quietly begin again. The people around you may not follow the same habits. Sometimes they may even question your way. Remember that you are not living to please everyone. Your real goal is to take good care of your own mind, to stay steady, and to offer kindness. You do not need to prove anything to others. Trust that your daily actions will make a difference for yourself and maybe for those who see them. Make time each day or each week to reflect on your growth. You can use a notebook, your phone, or a quiet walk. Ask yourself, what did I do today that felt true to my goal? Where did I lose my way? What can I practice again tomorrow? Even 1 minute of honest looking will help your mind and heart stay clear. As you live with ongoing self-discipline, you will slowly see bigger changes in your life. You may feel more peaceful inside. Your actions may bring better results at home, in school, or at work. You may feel less afraid of mistakes because you know you can always try again. Over months and years, you will see deeper trust in yourself and a softer way of moving through hard moments. Sometimes your energy will be low, or life will surprise you with worry or pain. In these times, return to the most basic habits. Rest, eat well, speak gently, and keep your thoughts simple. Trust that you can restart at any time. Discipline is not lost because you stop for a day, a week, or even longer. It returns each time you remember what matters. You may want to add new habits as your confidence grows. When you feel ready, try adding a new gentle step to your routine. Spend a few minutes reading something that lifts your mind. Practice deep breathing before meals. Remember one thing you are grateful for as you go to bed. The more you repeat your habits, the easier it is to add new ones. Stay honest with yourself as you build this life. If an old habit comes back, notice it and choose to respond in a kind, new way. When you feel tempted to give up, remember the reasons you began. Write them down and read them daily. Let your list of reasons become a gentle guide and a sign of your real progress. Do not wait for a perfect time to practice Stoic discipline. Every moment of every day, from the quiet morning to the busy afternoon to the late hours of the night, can be shaped by small, wise choices. You do not need money, great power, or help from others to use these tools. What you need most is the wish to grow and the patience to return to your habits no matter what happens in your day. If you fall behind or begin to doubt yourself, look for help if you need it. Share your hopes and problems with someone you trust. Sometimes the words you say to another person will show you how far you have come or help you see a new way forward. But know that you hold the power to return to your habits, quietly, on your own as well. As you go on, you will also see others struggling around you. Offer them patience, understanding, and respect. Remind them kindly that every person is learning and that nobody needs to be perfect. Your gentle way encourages everyone who meets you. If you ever feel lost about what to do next, bring yourself back to one breath. One breath is enough to begin your self-discipline again. With each breath, you can choose to act, speak, rest, or care for someone in a way that matches your values. Carry simple reminders of your habits with you. Perhaps a special stone in your pocket, or a word written on paper. These small objects can help bring you back to the present, where your strongest choices are made. It is important to slow down and notice the good changes your habits bring. Sometimes you may not see progress day to day, But after many weeks or months, you will notice. You feel stronger, more calm, less controlled by emotion or habit. You will see that you can listen to others without impatience. You will know that you are able to come back to your habits many times without shame. Your daily life may include people who disagree with your way. They may try to test your patience or pull you from your routines. Stay soft inside and firm in your habits. You can listen, help, or explain your actions, but you do not have to lose yourself or your path. Practice your self-discipline quietly and trust in your own growth. Allow yourself to rest and celebrate. Every time you keep a habit, give yourself thanks. When you notice growth in yourself, a calmer voice, a quicker return to focus, a softer heart, let yourself feel pride. These are your gifts for each act of discipline. Self-discipline does not make life perfect. There will still be hard days, confusion, and pain. But more and more, you will meet trouble with a mind that is strong and kind. You will know you can start again at any time, and you will not fear mistakes the way you did before. Build a full life with these simple steps. Notice your thoughts, pause before action, be gentle with your mistakes, keep a small daily promise, return to your main goal, and rest when needed. Over time, these steps join together and become your way of living. If you find yourself slipping, look at your old notes, your reminders, or talk to someone who supports you. Each time you remember your habits and begin again, you are showing true strength. As you look to your future, remember that there will always be new chances to practice. You may find yourself in new places with new people or challenges. Bring your gentle habits with you. The tools are always the same: awareness, honesty, patience, forgiveness, and steady effort. Marcus Aurelius trusted that anyone, no matter their age or situation, could build a strong and peaceful mind with these tools. His words have guided many people for thousands of years, not because they are difficult, but because they are simple and kind. Each sunrise brings you a new chance to begin. Each mistake can be forgiven. Each breath is a fresh start. As you use gentle discipline each day, you give yourself and others more peace, strength, and hope. Over many days and many seasons, these habits become who you are. Your actions and words match what you value in your heart. Each gentle step is another sign that real discipline is made of honest attention, kind forgiveness, and the choice to begin again whenever you need. Your life with Stoic self-discipline becomes a quiet gift you give to yourself and to everyone around you every single day.